Hey everyone, this is Peter McPhail with Lifestyle Properties of Maine. Thanks for joining me today. We're actually heading to Maine's most southernmost and westernmost county. That's a trivia question for today, so if you want to take a guess, put it in the comments below what county I'm in. And also share with me, if you're viewing from Maine, what county you are viewing from. So we're actually going to look at a 104 acre lot today in the town of North Berwick. And very interesting property, but we'll be there shortly. And thanks for joining me, but we'll go in and take a look at the prop. Thanks. So we're here on the road frontage, guys, and there's no survey on this property, although I have found some boundary line and survey pins, but the current owner doesn't have a survey map. This gravel road here, it's got frontage on both sides, as I told you earlier. There's some beautiful hemlock forest in here. Some of these trees have got to be 100+ years old. And the owner has not had a harvest done here. He reports 25 years or longer since there was a timber harvest done. And I've located one of the road frontage pins. And if you're driving in to look at this lot, you're not going to find the pin right on the road. It does set off the road a little bit. And matter of fact, let me jump in here and show you where it's at. But a beautiful hemlock forest in here. So that survey pin is right here, guys. And it's got a professional land surveyor number, looks like 1302 Lima. Oh, looks like an S maybe, 792, Civil Consulting. So survey pin there. Let's hop back out on the road. So this road, guys, has got a great base to it. It's very firm. These trees are grown in here, but it wouldn't take much with a contractor, with an excavator to come in here and open this up. Wouldn't take much at all, but as I'm walking in here, really a nice diverse forest. I'm seeing some old hemlock, I'm seeing maple in here, some smaller beech, but off to our right here, I'm noticing some really big trees. I want to get in there and take a look at those to see. I think, looks like there might be some pine in there, and I'm just wondering if there's probably enough wood here to build you a really nice home, but let's head in here and take a look. So we've walked in about 300 feet on that old grown-up road. We've come off that road maybe 50 feet to 100 feet, and there's a nice knoll in here, elevated knoll. And I'm seeing like hardwood trees, like there's a beech tree here that's probably 40 feet tall, straight as an arrow. But there's a number of pine, northern white pine in here that, I don't know, 60 to 80 feet tall is what I'm guessing, but they're straight as an arrow. Beautiful trees in here. We've got some mature oak in here. But yeah, if you had a portable, there's another beautiful pine, just no limbs on it, straight as an arrow, up for about 40 feet or so. Amazing. And check out this hardwood tree here, guys. Look at the growth on the side of this hardwood. It's really cool. I got a friend of mine from Tennessee that actually will come in and he'll make bowls off from growths on trees like this, and he's very, very talented. Really cool what he spins out. So, but beautiful spot to build. This is a great spot right here. Let's continue further into the lot. So we're probably about 500 feet off the road now, guys. The base of this road is continuing, and let's talk a little bit more about the town of North Berwick. North Berwick, basically the population, according to the estimates from the Census Bureau, is about a little over 5,200 people. So the town was incorporated in 1831, and the really neat thing about the location here, guys, we're about 30 minutes from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, roughly an hour and a half from Boston. Wells Beach, the Atlantic Ocean, we're about 30 minutes from there. The Portland International Airport is approximately 50 minutes away. So the location here, if you were to build your kingdom home, just would be very private, but yet, you know what, you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, but you're really close to some of the larger cities and amenities of what Maine has to offer. So guys, one of the things that I'm seeing on this property, it's a beautiful forest, but there's tons of deer sign in here, and I don't know if you can pick this up on the camera, but there is a beaten down game path that's leading down to a marsh down here. So you've got a nice diverse topography here. You got some high ground that you'd easily build on, but then you have some marshland for all kinds of wild game and bird species. Let's work our way down to that so you can get a look at that marsh. I just followed that game trail right down to the edge of the marsh here, and then it kind of borders the edge. But step out here, guys. What a beautiful feature here. Really pretty spot. Nice lush green meadow out here. There's a little bit of a flowage. Looks like a beaver, maybe an old beaver flowage up in there. But a pretty spot. We're gonna continue into the forest here and get a better look at things. So walking through the property, guys, we really haven't seen much for rocks at all. And then all of a sudden this thing just jumps out at us. So I'm trying to figure out how it got here, but my best guess is maybe years and years and years ago, when this was owned by a lumber company, probably they were building a logging road in here. The excavator comes in and probably rolled this thing out of the way to get the wood out on the harvest road. But just an interesting thing to see, to jump out of nowhere. Nothing but trees and all of a sudden a big rock. All right, guys, so we're towards the back of the lot, and I'm wanting to bring you down to the small brook here that flows off Bonnybeg Mountain. At least I believe it to be flowing off Bonnybeg. But there's a daffodil growing out here, clump of daffodils growing out here in the middle of nowhere. Pretty cool. And I've seen some wild blueberry bushes scattered throughout the property. We're gonna work our way down here so we can get a shot of the brook for you. So we made it to the back. There's a little brook flowage here. Small little pond here. Bird species, you can't catch them on the film here, but Joey and I have been listening to the birds here. It's a beautiful spot, very tranquil. Nice spot, but we're gonna head back through the forest here. All right, guys, so the answer to today's trivia question, we are in the southernmost and westernmost county in the state of Maine. We are in York County. York County is the state of Maine's oldest county. Matter of fact, it's one of the oldest counties in the United States. I believe, I'll double check my information, but I think it was incorporated or established anyway back in 1620s, I think. The population is approximately 210 to 215,000 people. Maine has 16 counties, which I know a lot of you probably already knew that. But as we're walking through here, it is like I said before, it's just a beautifully diverse forest with softwood and hardwood. And I'm coming up to another massive pine tree, guys. Northern white pine. I mean, check that out. Again, straight as an arrow. No limbs up the tree. Perfect piece of lumber right there if you want to build your own home and utilize the timber that's growing here. So guys, I'm still walking out through this property, and again, another massive pine tree, and I'm looking at a bunch of them through here. And all the trees have grown really straight, whether it's a hardwood, softwood, just some really nice growth to them, straight growth to them with not many limbs at all, but a pretty forest to walk through. If you enjoy hiking your land, boys, it's a really pretty forest. Another thing about North Berwick, guys, is the Pratt Whitney plant is here in North Berwick. So you got some of the finest American-made engines made right here in the state of Maine. And hey, stick around because I want to tell you about a nearby feature of this property. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on as far as recreational wise, right close, handy to the property. So stick around. When we get back out to the car, I want to share that information with you. I'm following a game trail right now. Deer tracks are just beating it down. Hey guys, if you're new to the channel or if you've been here for a while and haven't subscribed, please like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. So one of the neat features I want to tell you about that's in the immediate area is Bonnybeg Mountain Conservation Area. It's about 89 acres of conservation. Right now there's a couple miles of trails. You hike to the peak, and from what I can tell is on a clear day you can see the White Mountains to the north and you can see the Atlantic Ocean. So just a nice area. And this year in 2025 they're actually adding I believe, I've been told, several miles of new trail system there. So they've gotten some funds to do that. The town's investing in it, but just a really nice place to hike and check out. Let's recap the property here. We're in the town of North Berwick, York County. We're looking at 100 acres of land, beautifully timber here, nice spot to build. One of the things you should know, as it sits right now, the town requires 300 feet of road frontage to build. This property has that, but it doesn't have enough for an additional building lot. So you can build one home here plus an accessory dwelling unit, and that can be up to 650 square feet. Let's build your garage. If you wanted to put in another house in here, you'd actually have to bring the road up to minimum town standards, and that'd be quite a process. You'd be paving the road to do that. So just something to consider, although in this location, it probably wouldn't be a bad investment either way. So 100 acres plus or minus here, and the price is $375,000. This has been Peter McPhail with Lifestyle Properties of Maine. Thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon.